What's good, everybody? So, in this episode, I want to share some of the biggest lessons that I've learned this year. And at this rate, it's only May. So, let's dive in. For 3 years, my agency built funnels and automation systems for the biggest names in marketing today. Since then, I've transformed that agency into a hyper-profitable training and consulting business. While everyone is out there talking about scale like it's some sort of destination, we'll be asking the real question. How do you transform your business into a more scalable model using the knowledge, skills, and expertise that you already have? This podcast is here to give you the answer. Join me and follow along as I learn, apply, and share the strategies I'm using to build my multi-million-dollar business. My name is Greg Hickman, and welcome to Scalable. All right, my friends, so welcome back. And I put together 10 lessons that I've learned this year that have really kind of helped me get over some obstacles, through some obstacles, solve some big problems that I've had in my business, and also start to accelerate other areas of my life. And so I wanted to share some of these lessons with you, that in hopes that you can kind of see how I've been thinking. We're only, into May, and these are some big lessons that I've learned that I think are going to help us actually hit many of our goals by the end of the year. Even know that in some ways, in some areas we're off track, in other areas we're right on track. And in some cases, it just completely eliminated and deleted some of our goals because we got way more clear. So I've kind of written down each of these for you. So let's jump into lesson number 1 is don't buy into everyone else's hype, right? So what do I mean by that? It's easy to get caught up in what other people are doing. If you've been on Facebook, scrolling through Instagram, hey, it looks like everyone's having a great life, living that good life. But there's also a lot of really good marketers out there right now, and they're really good at marketing, and that's about it. So when you peel back the curtain, they're also figuring out their own shit, right? So don't let their hype derail you from what you should be focused on. And you don't need to have and do exactly what they are doing, right? Not many people are sharing the crappy parts about what's happening in their life, right? They always want to show you winning. So if you're following these people, sometimes you're going to just buy into the hype and feel like that you're behind because you're seeing someone else's wins and never seeing any of the struggle that they go through. So lesson number 1 is don't buy into everyone else's hype. I was definitely guilty of it. Number 2, don't buy into your own hype. Guys, this one is probably even more important, right? So look, in my situation, be vulnerable for a minute. We had a really stretch of really good months, and no joke, got on my high horse, did some things that I probably were out of sequence and a little bit too early. But just because you've got some success, that's great. Celebrate real quick and, get back to work, right? Getting caught up in your own success is almost more damaging than getting caught up in someone else's. And at least that's how I felt. And I was guilty of that this year for sure. Number 3, you gots to pay to play. Today, too many people expect to be spoon-fed. I don't know if that's what you feel, but they want free stuff. Here's the problem with most free stuff. It doesn't include help with the execution. And guess where you get the real result is with the help in the execution, right? It's the implementation economy. We've talked about this. The biggest results, and I know in my business, have come from putting money on the line and investing in the right help. And, at the time of recording this, I've spent over 6 figures this year just on myself with coaching, consulting, courses, etc., not including my team. And so I've accelerated my learning curve, and I've avoided a lot of mistakes too, to be honest, while getting the appropriate help. So if you want to get to the next level, you're going to have to pay to get the help, whether that's investing in team, whether that's investing in coaches, mentors, and things like that. Like, you're going to have to put some skin in the game. Number 4, such a good one. Stop borrowing other people's goals. Guilty of this as charged. So when someone says their goal is a million or 10 million per year, I know that for the most part that they're just adopting someone else's goal, especially if they respond super quickly. If they actually calculated what it would take to live their ideal life, and they'd have a more specific number, right? So actually to build a spreadsheet and list out all of the things that you'd like to do, the experiences, the things you'd like to have, the, whatever, all of the experiences plus things, investments, all of that stuff. And you'll come out to a pretty specific number and you'll figure out what you need to pay yourself. And so if they actually calculated it out, you'd have that specific number. And what I found is the more that I drop round numbers, I'm either A, being lazy, or B, being someone else's or borrowing someone else's goal, and or C, I have too big of an ego to actually figure out what I want myself. And then D, all of the above, right? So this one was hard for me, right? Because you don't know how big your business can be. You don't know how big your business can be, and so you hire mentors and you go see what other people are doing, and you kind of just latch on to, oh, well, like that's where their business is at, like that should be my goal, right? And I think in the beginning that's actually fine to start modeling other people, right? That are where you want to be. It's actually encouraged. But I think once you start getting some momentum, you need to do some of your own deep work and figure out what does it look like for you. Because the further you get into modeling someone, and I don't mean copying someone, but modeling someone, the more that it doesn't align with you deep down internally with what you want, you're going to feel resistance and you're going to be unclear as to why. And it's because you're unclear on what your own vision is. You've always just been modeling and trying to chase the thing that somebody else has demonstrated ahead of you, right? So you got to go lock yourself in the room for 72 hours and figure out like what it is you want, right? Like run some numbers for yourself, okay? So jumping back, number 5, the best investments recently for me have always been in my team. Now, I'm not saying that mentors aren't important. Obviously, we coach a lot of people and mentor a lot of people. It's our business. I've invested $250,000+ in coaching, consulting, mentoring. Like it's sequentially, there's going to be a point where you actually need to invest in people on your side. And so as of recent, for me, the best investments have been people on my team, right? Hiring the right people, getting them involved like in the right way has allowed me to remove myself from key elements of the business and really start to become a better leader and a CEO. So I have way far to go from where I want to get to personally, but by trusting in my team and giving them more control, I've experienced new levels of freedom and things that I get to create, right? So that's been really, as of late, a really big investment. So if you've been struggling doing everything, you probably just need to start looking at not just investing in coaches and mentors, but your team. Number 6 is systems set you free. People hate systems. It's not sexy, right? But for some of us, they are. And if you look at all of the fly-by-night fancy marketers, a lot of them, they say they don't want systems, right? But the reality is, being behind the scenes of some really successful people, paying to be in big mastermind groups that, people are well beyond where I could imagine, that have real businesses, they actually love and adopt systems, right? They believe that they set you. And so the only way you're going to get it is like that freedom is with systems and a process. So if you ain't got those in place, you'll literally never be scalable, let alone scale. And by that, I mean like have a business that serves you and not the other way around, right? Number 7, live and die by the morning routine, right? Like this is, there's people out there that'll say, hey, like you don't need a morning routine. You might not be a morning person, blah, 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 blah. But if you don't have some form of morning routine, create one. If you don't know where to start, borrow one and then make it your own. I get more done than most people because of my routine, right? I work on the right things because of my routine. I'm in control and I'm running a more calm, predictable business because of my routine. No routine to me turns into chaos. If I can't win my morning, how am I supposed to win my day? And my morning is very much designed to optimize me, right? If I can't control myself, my own emotions, how am I supposed to, lead my team, lead our clients and show them, how to move forward, right? So honestly, we have our internal team has a routine that we've adopted and then modified and created and, adapted everything, try new things. I go about 4 to 6 months with my routine being a certain way. There's some pieces that never change, but I'm always trying some new things like every 4 to 6 months to keep it fresh. And I've found that having that morning routine has really anchored me going into the rest of the day and the week. Number 8, go all in on personal development. Look, I've always said that entrepreneurship is the best self-development training available. If you don't fall in love with personal development and learning how to optimize yourself, your routines, your body, and your mind, you're not going to make it. Like, I can't name one successful entrepreneur from Ogilvy to Abraham to Jobs that wasn't super in tune with their own personal growth, right? It's not a nice to have, it's a must have. And I think by default, entrepreneurs, like, we fall into it, and some really don't want to embrace it, right? And I think the second you do, you have the opportunity to really advance. Number 9, simplify. Simplify. Simplify everything, guys. Your environment, your stuff, do less, buy less, simplify your business model. You only need 1 or 2 products to build a multi-million-dollar business. So stop making it harder than it has to be. Simplify the tools you use. You don't need most of the stuff you're buying in most cases. Simplifying equals scalability, period, right? Ask yourself, how can you simplify? Number 10, get and pay a coach or mentor, okay? The more you invest in yourself, we've already talked about this, the more you'll expect of yourself and the more you actually get out of it, right? Like, if you go into things and you haven't paid or put any skin in the game, the likelihood of you committing to it and sticking to it when it gets hard is going to be practically zero. But when you've put money on the line, like, you've backed yourself into a corner. And that's why, you see a lot of people that invest in these coaching programs, like, get stuff out of it because they want to prove to themselves that they can do it. And they have both their time, commitment, and energy and money on the line, right? So, paying a coach and a mentor has been super massive into, like, getting me accelerated and not letting me off the hook, right? They'll show you how they did it, but they'll also ask you the right questions when the situation calls for it, right? When you choose the right coach, at least, they're also going to help you protect yourself and your environment and surround you with other people just like you. So if you haven't done that yet and, like, you're still struggling, really consider it, right? 11, this is the bonus one. Accept who you are and what you are. Now, some real talk here. For the longest time this year, I hated calling myself a coach, but you know what? I'm a coach, and a damn good one, right? Like, my clients think I'm a good one. They've told me I'm a good one. People that don't really know me, that, like, have seen me, speak or whatever, think that I'm good at coaching, right? When I've been in those environments. But I was always hesitant to call myself a coach, right? I mean, obviously I'm an entrepreneur and I want to be known as a business owner, but one of my skill sets is coaching people, right? So, I feel like for myself, like, I know when to put on the consultant hat or the mentor hat, right? And I've found ways to work hard once and have all my clients benefit. And that's why I'm pumped for the rest of this year and, like, having a lot of these lessons learned already, right? I've designed my business to help other agency owners and service-based businesses transition to a more leveraged model and build a business on their own terms that serves them, not the other way around. And I'm all in on them and helping them, like, achieve their goals and have the freedom that they want. And so I would always say those things, and which are very much what a coach does, but I wouldn't call myself a coach, and I need to accept who I am. So I'm a damn good coach, and I'm not ashamed of it, right? And so I'd love to know, which of these lessons resonated with you, and hopefully one of them, hits at the right moment in your life. I know as I've learned certain things, it's like, man, like, that is exactly what I needed to hear right now. I hope that was the situation for you. I'm going to continue to share different things like this. Hope you're enjoying the show thus far. If you haven't left us a rating and review in iTunes, we would greatly appreciate that. That could be your payment back to us. And look, if you need help and you want to accelerate and you are trying to make that transition from agency owner into CEO, where you have leveraged programs, products, and services, we can help. We can help you do it really quickly. You can apply and get on our calendar to speak with myself or someone on our team to really just brainstorm if we actually can help and if you're in a position for us to be successful working together. No hard sales pitch. There's a link below, system.ly/apply. If you're listening on iTunes, system.ly/apply. Hope you guys enjoy. Have a great day and talk soon. Hey, are you looking for that cool place to hang on the internet with all the people just like you? Well, I got it for you. If you want to learn the best strategies, tips, and tools to productize and automate your business, visit system.ly/community to join our free private community and continue the conversation. We'll see you there.